who going through, you know what I'm saying, like different type of pain type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Those type of issues. You never know who's going through those type of things, and
Mm-mm.
unless you know what I'm saying? And then like people who do go through that type of shit, that shit is painful. Like, and if you just like for somebody on the outside to look at somebody and just see them just hurting, you know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing. But it's a difference when you know you that person, you know.
Right.
So to have like real just explain real quick, just like having those pains and for you to go through that and go through everything you go through because of that and then to be relieved from something like that.
Well, again, Lupron was my best friend for the last 11 years. Lupron is actually a form of birth control, they say. But why do I need birth control? My tubes have been tied for 14 years. What I've been saying for the last 11 years. But that's the only thing that stops the cramp, stops the period, stops all the pain, period. Like, you have none of that. So it puts it to a halt. About a year or two ago, the doctor wanted to take me off because of the bone density problem. I don't drink milk, so I don't get enough vitamin D in my system. So with that being said, they were scared that my bones would start to decay the older I get.
Right.
38, he didn't want to do it no more. Like, this would have been my last year period. So I've been thinking. I got to put something together because if we take Lupron, that shit gonna really, it's gonna mess me up. Like, I'm not gonna make it. So I seen my Tika on live on the video, and I was working with her. And like
Mm.
I say, that was one of the first persons outside of, your other loyal customer that I seen, and I knew that it was working. Liz Collins. You started it. Why you wanted, it to work and all that about your mom, but you never went in depth.
Mm.
So
Oh,
something.
your phone went in and out. We couldn't hear nothing.
Oh, okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now perfect, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I was following you for a while and hearing you, speak on that. If I'd have had this when my mom was here, she probably would have made it. So I'm like, okay, I wonder what she had. Was it chronic pain? Because that's clearly what it is, chronic pain. Um, January they wanted me to start seeing a pain doctor, but certain insurance and all that, it minimizes the things that you can do. And by me being a med tech, I have to be careful what narcotics I put in my body. Period. So I purchased back in, I think it was May. I want to say May. I purchased in May, and my mindset was to use this for a pain supplement, like to see if it's gonna, ease the pain, ease the period, ease the flow, the side effects to, coming on. You have those couple days before you come on to let you know you're about to come on, and then you have those last couple days after going off.
Right.
Prior to my last period, before this last one, I was going through a box of tampons and a box of pads. I'm talking about super plus. I couldn't use regular, none of that. I was going straight through clotting and everything. This last menstrual I've had, and now, like I say, I started taking the tea like it's medicine now. Like, I gotta have it 2 times a day, and I had very mild symptoms to the point to where I could go to work. I could, maneuver around. I could take care of my kid. And even like I told you, my daughter, oh, we're not going to the hospital this month. I didn't have to go see no emergency room, none of that. Because that tea, like, it's amazing. So I went to the doctor. My blood count and everything was great. Like, and the doctor looking at me like, "What are you doing? What have you done?" Because, like I say, I was scheduled for surgery the middle of October, or something like that, for him to go back in. He already went in one time, and he's supposed to clean the endometriosis out. But yes, the Fupa, he cleaned it out, but it was in the creases of where they sewed me up from my and from my tubercle. They went back in and they were supposed to tie the tubes and everything, but on the left side of my stomach, you could tell where it's in more than the rest of my stomach. So that part right there, I really have no stomach there because they then went in and cleaned all that out trying to get the endometriosis out. Which that the problem that I had was with how they put it. They put it something like I can't even tell you everything because like I said, I went through so much. Like it wasn't just go to the doctor, they fix it and send you home. No, I'm talking about back and forth to the emergency room, back and forth to the doctor, back and forth just to find out, what can he do. But as he cleaned it out, he said that it inside like a little crease, just that much would cause me pain to the point to where I couldn't stand up.
Mm.
So, like I said, I started telling my doctor about this tea, and I knew I couldn't use it for a weight loss because I retained water. I retained water because of the medications I was on. So I told him I wanted to stop everything and just try the tea. So for the last 3-4 months now, it's been straight tea and it's been no medication. I've been off Lupron now. It'll be a year in December that I had my last injection Thanksgiving of last year. So November will be a year that I've been off. I had my first menstrual this month and it was great. So I'm going back for a follow up soon, because now he just want to check me because he feels like there's something going on. I told you get better right before you die. You get good. So
Mm.
I'm asking him about to go. What's going on? But all my lab results are great. Like all my blood work is great, and for me to have so many health problems for the last 10, 12, 13 years to be where I'm at now, I'll be 40 in a year. Like, I got a year and a couple more months in my 30s. So it wasn't no more. My next thing would have been a forced hysterectomy. I didn't want to force my body into that because when we start forcing our bodies as women, we start having more problems.
What's the force hit? What's that?
They would just go in and take everything out because I mean again I don't need it because I'm never having kids, but my hormone level would change, and I would be old before my time, and it makes you miserable. Like you don't get the sensation no more. You don't. It's no good. I don't want to force hysterectomy. I want to keep all my insides. I want everything to stay intact the way I was born. I want to take it with me. Period.
Wait, hold on. Oh.
The forced
Force his.
hysterectomy is when he has to go in and he takes all my insides out and I won't have a period.
Oh,
And then
shit.
I'll just maybe he said maybe once a month I'll go through, my body trying to produce, but it won't be producing because it's just my body gonna do that because I'm a woman. But it wouldn't do nothing. I didn't want that because I'm thinking, I'm still young. I want to live life a little bit and
Right.
don't no woman want to be here. And like I say, when you can't have sex, it's a problem. When you can't enjoy it, it's a problem. And that was my main issue with it. Like, I mean, I'm telling them like I can't even enjoy sex. What's the problem? Like, what's going on with me? Like, I don't understand. And those were my options. Like, we could afford this was like 4 or 5 years ago. He was gonna give me hysterectomy, and I'm like, no, like, no, forcing me in hot flashes, forcing me hysterectomy. Oh no, I'm not. I
You
don't
say it's
want
stressing me old.
old. Yeah, that means that you done got too old and your body can't sustain that shit no more. Nah, I'm not that old. Like no, let's
Right.
find something else. So I mean, I'm grateful every day that I found the Fupa Magic, even though I'm not.